So, what is the best single handgun caliber if you had to pick just one? And why is it 357 Magnum? Welcome back to Bullets and Brass, folks. We're doing another one of these. Today we are using the original Magnum 357 by Elmer Keith and a few other people. We're not going to leave everybody out, but he is the guy, right? Well, because Elmer Keith knew what the hell he was doing, he got it right the first time. That is number one. It's that simple. This is a man who used a handgun day to day in his life. He knew what he was doing ballistically. He knew what he was doing in terms of the internals of a cartridge, of how they operate, why they do what they do, both internal to the gun and on target. And he got it right. The further development into 44 Magnum was not because 357 Magnum was not good. It was, well, what else can we do? There's other needs, right? But for most of us, 44 Magnum is getting to the territory of, I'd rather have a rifle, right? You know, that you're getting to, excuse you, we're getting to power levels where the rifle is more appropriate for the job. Now, also in comparison to 44 Magnum, it's younger brother that took steroids and goes to the gym a little more. The 357 can be downloaded really easily. You can get that down to basically mouse fart loads. You can even get them from the factory as cowboy loads. It is not a problem. You can load 357 Magnum to the point where it barely clears the muzzle. And because it's a revolver, it will still function. It's that simple. Or you can load it so hot that your hand is going to hate you and you have to use special revolvers to take the load. Now, that's just the beauty of a large capacity pistol round in this design. You can absolutely load it hot, or you can load it really light, and everything still works. It doesn't have the capacity of a 44 Magnum. You do give up that extra case capacity, but there's more than enough with that smaller bullet. Just in general, you're less likely to lose brass because it's a revolver round. So if you're going to the range regularly, if you're shooting regularly, 357 Magnum or any revolver round is easy on your brass. You're going to keep most of it. 357 is not fragile brass. It's not like a 4440 or 32 H&R where the brass is kind of thin and easily damaged. 357 Magnum brass is pretty stout. This can make it very economical to shoot if you hand load. If you are doing your own loading or have a buddy doing it or whatever, 357 Magnum is not an expensive round to shoot. The bullets are not expensive. Powder use is pretty economical. You're using small pistol primers. This is not a hard round to load. And you can easily bulk load ammo at a very affordable rate and practice all you want. It can be gentle enough for teaching the beginner, powerful enough for deer and hogs. There isn't anything in the normal pistol wheelhouse that this can't do, except be as cheap as 22 long rifle. That's asking a little much. And it is a round that has stood the test of time. It is the original Magnum. It is the classic, and yet it still leads the charts for self-defense efficiency and effectiveness. That's remarkable, right? This is a round that's been around. This is a round that has been out since 1935. 35. It's not quite as old as 1911's, so it's not 45 ACP era. But effectively, 1935, guys. This is an old round for what is still considered a very popular, mainstream, powerful round. It hasn't gotten less effective, although it could be argued that it technically did, because the official standard for 357 Magnum has been reduced. They started noticing that with some cheaper revolvers, it was problematic at the original pressures. But, seriously, baller round. And lastly, because it's a smaller diameter than 44 Magnum or any of the other bigger revolver rounds, you can pack the whole thing into a smaller revolver. If you think about it this way, if you're going to say 5 rounds, you're trying for a compact carry revolver, right? 357 Magnum lets you make that noticeably smaller and thinner. That's the key part. It's the diameter of that cylinder. Much more easily. You have sufficient room between the rounds to handle the pressure. It is a better situation. It can be lighter, smaller, and more than powerful enough. I would argue that hot load 357 in a lightweight compact carry revolver is more than most people are interested in shooting without, recoil reducing gloves, say. I know it is for me. I have fired hot loads through a Scandium Smith & Wesson, and yeah, too much. Is it doable? Sure. As a carry gun, sure. I would not want to practice with it. It was too much to be enjoyable to practice. Instead, I have a Ladysmith that is a stainless steel frame. It is a relatively heavy revolver for its size, but it's relatively comfortable to shoot with normal power 357 loads. With Plus P, it hurts. I put a bigger rubber grip on it, and that's more comfy. But for concealed carry with a smaller grip, it's brutal. But they're way more effective than 9mm, much less 38 or 380 or 38 special. Your hand may hate you, but it's better than the alternative, guys. So anyway, that is it. Take care, have fun, stay safe, and keep shooting.